In the middle of the vast ocean, a helicopter and 3 motorboats rush toward a crash site. It turns out that a NASA capsule has gone down, and astronaut Sam needs immediate rescue. The team quickly pulls her from the wreckage and transports her to a nearby hospital. Sometime later, Sam regains consciousness, but everything feels strange. Dizzy and disoriented, she notices a pin floating in midair above a tray. Before she can reach out to it, a few doctors walk in. When she glances back, the pin is lying flat on the tray. Moments later, she vomits, and the doctors reassure her that it's a normal post-landing effect. They ask a few mental health questions. Sam mentions the floating pen, but the doctors calmly explain that anti-gravity hallucinations are common among astronauts after re-entry. Her hand is badly swollen, but not broken, most likely an injury from the impact. When they ask her what she remembers, Sam shares her story. She had received new coordinates from Mission Control. Everything was routine, until she felt the capsule strike something. She thinks she blacked out during the freefall, but isn't certain. The medical team informs her that an object punctured the capsule and cracked her helmet. They suspect it was meteorite debris, though lab tests on her suit particles are underway for confirmation. Later, her husband Mark and daughter Izzy visit, but quarantine rules mean they can only talk through a glass wall. Her father William appears too, telling her that the Pentagon will join NASA's investigation because of strange frequencies detected during re-entry. He explains a government-owned secluded house has been arranged so she can recover free from reporters. A doctor interrupts the reunion to escort Sam for further tests. She touches Izzy's hand through the glass and promises they'll be together soon. When it's time for her transfer, a full convoy takes her to the remote house. Dr. Michelle gives her a tour, explaining the land was bought in the 1950s for weapons testing and now serves as a safe house for high-profile officials. There's even a telescope outside, so you won't miss space, Michelle says with a smile. When Sam uses the telescope, she hears a sharp, painful screech, and strange visions flash before her eyes. Dizzy and terrified, she collapses as Michelle comforts her, saying these symptoms are part of her recovery. She'll need to focus if she's to return to work in 2 months. That night, Sam suffers a pounding headache, checks her temperature, no fever, but when she unwraps the bandage on her hand, she finds a dark, spreading bruise that wasn't there before. Then she begins unpacking, but stops when her nose starts to bleed. In the kitchen, she fetches a cloth and takes a video call from her best friend, Val. Mid-conversation, Sam freezes, staring unblinkingly at the backyard for several seconds until Val calls her name. Sam apologizes, saying she thought she saw something. After moving to another room, she senses something shift in the shadows outside. Val advises her to downplay her symptoms so she can get back to work soon. After the call ends, the house lights flicker and a loud noise echoes from another room. Investigating, Sam finds the floor strewn with rainwater and mud, a chair toppled, and the backyard door wide open. Outside, she uses the telescope again and notices movement among the wooded shadows, but it vanishes quickly. Flashback in hand, she goes out to the forest and hurls a rock at the place she saw the movement, unaware that the mysterious entity is now perched on the roof of the house. A screech pierces the air, and visions flood her eyes. Flashing lights, people walking through a smoky crash site. The next morning, Sam wakes to find her bandage missing and the bruise on her hand has spread. As she makes breakfast, she's stunned to see an egg floating above the counter. She touches it and it dances midair. When she grabs and drops it, it still hovers. But when the medical team arrives, the egg falls and smashes on the counter. Her morning is consumed by dozens of tests. While exercising, she feels a sudden pain in her foot and dismisses it as a cramp. Afterwards, she lies down with ice packs over sore spots. Dr. Michelle apologizes for the intensity of the testing, but assures her that the data is invaluable to the space program. She asks if Sam has experienced any other symptoms. Sam lies, saying she's been fine. Once the team leaves, Sam calls Mark and says she'd like a family trip after her recovery. Mark balks, saying it's a bad idea. He believes Izzy shouldn't see them together if they end up divorced. Hurt, Sam says they're still working things out. He points out they nearly lost her. She was away for months for training, then in space, and he knows she'll take another mission as soon as she can. Desperate, Sam insists they're very important to her, and she wants Izzy to have the family she never did. It is revealed Izzy is adopted because the couple couldn't conceive, and Mark doesn't believe it brought the closure they expected. Izzy interrupts, showing her drawing, the family with space figures in the sky. Sam later walks in the woods when the piercing noise returns. She clutches her head as visions of a search team amid heavy smoke invade her mind. The noise stops, and she looks down to see a cable snaking under leaves. Following it, she discovers a rock with a glowing light underneath.
Lifting it, she realizes it's a fake rock concealing a camera. Alarmed, she finds another cable, another fake rock, another camera. As she heads back, she trips on a tree root, hits her head, and wakes up in bed with a throbbing headache. She touches her hair and finds dried blood. At that moment, she spots someone outside the window and is startled when a man enters the room. He explains they found her outside with a serious injury and brought her in. When Sam asks who they are, William appears, her father, revealing he called a search team when he arrived and found the house empty, scolding her for not resting. Sam asks about the hidden cameras. William confesses he hadn't told NASA all the house details because he didn't expect her to go this far. Then he leads her downstairs, behind hidden furniture, into a secret passage. They descend further and enter a large underground facility, multiple living quarters, a central power system, and dozens of security cameras monitoring the house. William switches on a screen and shows her the house's defensive design. 3 layers of the hardest materials known to man, an emergency self-shutdown system, and a defense system, though he doubts she'll ever need it. After his team leaves, Sam begins unpacking in her room, but she stops cold when a nosebleed starts. She moves to the kitchen to fetch a cloth, and while there she receives a video call from her best friend, Val. As they chat, Sam suddenly freezes, staring blankly into her backyard for several seconds. Val calls her name repeatedly until Sam snaps out of it and apologizes, saying she thought she saw something. She moves into another room, and from the shadows outside, she senses something stirring. Val urges Sam to minimize her symptoms so she can get back to work quickly. After the call ends, the lights flicker and a loud noise echoes in another room. Investigating, Sam finds the floor covered in rainwater and mud, a chair overturned, and the backyard door wide open. Then she opens her laptop and searches for strange bug phenomena, discovering articles that link geomagnetic disturbances to UFO sightings and abductions. Some photos in the article show creatures and people with bruises like hers. While she reads, she senses something on her back. She races to the bathroom, looks in the mirror, and sees bruising on her shoulder blade too. The lights flicker again. She rushes to arm the alarm, then runs downstairs as weird noises echo through the house. At that moment, Mark calls to say he's on his way. Sam, shaken, asks him, "Was I a good mother?" leaving him confused. The house AI announces another breach and enters lockdown. Sam tells Mark there's something in the house, and then his voice on the phone becomes garbled. She starts climbing the stairs toward the bunker when an unbearable pain in her back causes her to collapse. She rolls down the stairs and lands painfully at the bottom. Reaching toward her back, her hand touches a mysterious gelatinous substance. Her cell phone is broken. Upstairs, she hears noises again and rushes to the computer. She checks all the cameras, nothing. Then the scan reveals another person besides her. The screens glitch as a monster finally appears inside the house. Terrified, she turns off the monitors. Another scan, now 2 more people on the upper floors. She presses buttons and smoke erupts from the ceiling vents in the corridor. She dashes to the kitchen, hiding behind furniture as she sees the monster's reflection on the oven. It doesn't spot her and moves away. But a second creature enters, and she must hide again. Sam waits until it leaves, then bolts out the door. Hiding in a bathroom, she blocks the door with furniture. Her bruised hand starts aching. She strips off the bandage and finds her skin coated in a strange substance. The creatures pound on the door. She leaps into the shower, notices a vent, kicks off the lid, and enters the wall crawl space. Outside, Mark and Izzy arrive and discover the house in lockdown. Mark tries calling Sam, but no answer. He gets out of the car to investigate. Izzy spots something in the forest and runs off. Mark chases her and finds her staring at a light in the woods. Meanwhile, Sam climbs a ladder through a hatch in the forest. As she races through the trees, more of her wounds begin to glow. She keeps hearing the creatures, yet her family searching for her remains silent. On the road near the house, William arrives with armed men. He reminds them they're dealing with something highly intelligent as soldiers search the house and William finds the bunker in disarray. In the forest, Sam falls to the ground as the monsters close in. She pleads for mercy. Then, a creature lifts her chin and speaks in its own language, but she understands every word. More creatures appear. The first says, "We missed you." When Sam asks who they are, it replies, "We are your family." Confused, Sam lets the creature rest its forehead on hers. The earlier visions finally make sense. She is an alien. Her family crashed on Earth years ago. A team of soldiers, led by William, tried to capture them, so they scattered quickly. In the chaos, Sam was separated and used a device to camouflage her body. William found her, believed she was a young child, and adopted her. Her alien family never stopped searching for her, knowing the camouflage would fail over time. And it was they who punctured her capsule. In the present, Mark and Izzy reach Sam surrounded by aliens. Izzy is shaken by her mother's glowing form, but Sam reassures her nobody will hurt her. William interrupts, confirming he always knew what she was. He says he deliberately inspired her to be an astronaut and sent her on the mission as bait. Now he wants to capture the aliens as government property and signals his team. Sam refuses to tell her family to surrender. William draws his gun, Mark tackles him and lands punches. Sam's camouflage fails, and she reveals her true alien form. The soldiers approach. Mark shouts at Sam to run for her life. Izzy raises her hand. Sam touches it with her alien paw and then flees into the forest with her family. By the time the soldiers arrive, a brilliant spacecraft is lifting the aliens off Earth. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.